Hello, how's it going, folks? It is I, once again, Will, with Exposing the IWC. And today we're talking about a lot of things. I don't know how much time I'm going to focus on Raw, because Raw wasn't that. There's some good stuff on Raw. Okay, I'm not going to act like it was a terrible show, but there had been some criticism on Raw, so we'll kind of discuss that. Was it really that bad? Was it fine? Was it okay? Did it work for a go home Raw? I thought some good things happened, but overall, I was kind of bored, and I did fall asleep during the main event. The main event was a problem for me. I'll talk about that later. I was not that big of a fan of the main event well before the match started, okay? So I'll be honest with you there. Talk about that. We're also going to talk about AJ Styles and him coming out and pretty much putting to rest this whole rumor that's going around about how WWE, well, it was reported by certain folks in the dirt sheet realm. It was reported that AJ Styles was not going to be inducted into TNA Hall of Fame because WWE shut it down. That never made any sense. We'll talk about that in a second. And we'll talk about this new news about the WWE and this new indie wrestling development program that got set up here. It's been all the talk of the town for the last, 2 hours. We'll discuss that. Does it make sense? Is it bad for the industry? Is this bad WWE? Are they up to their old tricks? Is this a farce? We'll talk about that in a second. We'll dive into it. It definitely benefits WWE. Okay, that's for damn sure. And its affiliates. So we'll talk about that in a second. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. What's up, Pedro? What's up, Richard? What's up, Brianna? What's up, Tristan? How you guys doing? What is up? How's everything? It's all as well. Oh, and another thing we're going to talk about here is I may have been what's the word I'm looking for? I may have been what's the word? I'm having trouble getting out. I may have been no, I can't. I may have been wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Boy, that was hard. I may have been wrong. Maybe. We'll see if I am. I've been talking about Women's War Games for a minute. I kind of had it in my head how it's going to work out. Women's War Games, okay? And apparently, we may be going in a different direction. I don't know yet. Okay, it's not official, but I may have been wrong. Okay, but we'll see. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not willing to say that I'm wrong yet. It's possible. It's likely, maybe even. We'll talk about that in a second. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Raw was a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I guess. What's up, noob? I guess it was fine. I mean, it is what it is. It was like a 6.5 to 7, honestly. Let's talk about AJ Styles. Let's start with AJ, okay? So AJ Styles, it was reported by Fightful, Sean Rossap of all people, that AJ Styles, I'll just read his words here. TNA was interested in possibly inducting AJ Styles into the TNA Hall of Fame, but WWE, that's clear, let's make it clear here, but WWE had passed on the idea, Fightful is told. Now this, I didn't really tweet about this or talk about it at all. I didn't quote it or anything like that because it never made sense to me. WWE have a working relationship with TNA, right? Rey Mysterio is in the Hall of Fame. He's still working. I didn't understand why Triple H would be like, no, sirree, no AJ Styles, no TNA. You cannot be inducted in the Hall of Fame. We're going to stop you from doing it. That didn't make sense, especially because WWE and TNA are in good relationships right now. Again, Rey Mysterio is in the Hall of Fame, so nothing wrong with having active roster members in the Hall of Fames. It didn't make any sense for me. I didn't bother with it. And of course, like clockwork, the IWC, the folks that hate WWE went crazy. Oh, look at this. It's definitely Triple H's idea. This had Triple H written all over it. Triple H did not want WWE stars to be in the Hall of Fame of other promotions. This is awful. It didn't make any sense whatsoever, right? Not to me, at least. And of course, AJ Styles, he was on Twitter. He saw the masses going crazy. I believe this tweet that got deleted, this tweet was straight up calling out Triple H. So AJ Styles was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm going to come out and pretty much squash this nonsense. He says, I'm still an active wrestler. I hope. We all hope. Let's not like think about that last time he was in the ring would be freaking against Carmelo Hayes, that injury. Let's hope that he's back in the ring with haste. Okay, we want to see him in the ring soon. Okay, let's hope that he's not out for that long. But the injury he has could keep him out for a long time. Unfortunately, I made the decision not to go to TNA Hall of Fame, not WWE. I appreciate TNA, but I don't want to go into Hall of Fame as long as I'm an active wrestler. Basically, it's his choice. So he's told TNA, or maybe he told WWE, and then WWE told TNA, whatever. Ultimately, he says, I'm an active wrestler. I don't feel right to go into Hall of Fame while I'm still wrestling. I'm a wrestler. I'm not, that's like my career is over. I'm working. I'm a wrestler. I'm still in it. I'm still in the game. I'm not a Hall of Fame act right now. I respect that. That makes sense to me. Of course, it would be AJ Styles' decision, not Triple H. Hey, AJ, they wanted to put you in the Hall of Fame, but I told them no. Like, what? It didn't make any sense. Anyway, Fightful jumped over it, or they jumped on that story, ran with it, and it was debunked very quickly. Yeah, so that's what that was, okay? AJ Styles made the decision, not the bad WWE. I know so many people want the WWE to be this bad, evil company now. Vince is gone. That never made any sense whatsoever, folks, all right? Not a single sense was made in that report that the WWE told him no. What? You can't put him in the Hall of Fame. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, you can't have access to the talent? Hey, what? Like, first of all, they can do what they want to do in terms of their Hall of Fame, right? They can induct who they want. WWE doesn't have a say. I guess the idea was we want to have him physically there, and they said no. Didn't make any sense, okay? I'm glad that was freaking put to rest. And then, of course, Sean Rossap made a tweet saying, our bad. He clarified, sorry for the error. You know, it was interesting, you know, but yeah. Let me see how they react real quick. They don't want to hear that you apologize, yada yada yada. So he apologized. He said, "My bad for the error." So I'll give him that. But it just never made any sense. So glad that's wrapped up. That's been addressed, and we can move on. All right. So that was AJ Styles' report, or not report, misinformation, not intentional, but it was wrong. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. Let's talk about. Oh, by the way, if I'm rambling up here, you want to get your thought in, and I don't see your comment or your tweet, your tweet. I don't see your chat comment. You can drop a super chat. I'll read everyone that is donated for sure. All right, let's talk about what's next. Oh yeah, this whole mumbo jumbo about the freaking indie program they're doing here. This whole indie wrestling development. So you didn't know. We have this story from WWE talking about their plan to launch a developmental program that supports the indie wrestling scene. They're going to call it WWE ID, all right? It's an effort to identify talent in the indies, you know, bring them into the fold in different ways. They're going to be affiliated with schools, like, for example, Booker T's wrestling school, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory, Seth Rollins' school, right? And these affiliates will be given the talent a pipeline or pathway to WWE. So this is good for WWE, of course. They get their eyes on more talent. Basically, the creme de la creme, the top talent in these schools, in these, some of them are like, they put on their own shows, right? Some of these schools, they'll be able to look at the talent early on, get the first dab at them, basically, the first get of them. And this is, of course, good for the affiliates, because now when you're a WWE affiliate, the talent will say, hey, I want to go there. I have a dream of wrestling for WWE. So if I go to that affiliate, I got a better chance of being seen. I get a better chance of getting to NXT, so on and so forth, right? So it's good for the affiliates. It's without a doubt good for WWE. The question is it good for the entire, wrestling scene? Are they trying to ruin the American indie scene, right? That's what they're saying. We got the reality of wrestling, Cody Rhodes, got Seth Rollins. I think one of these is Rikishi's thing. Here it is, the Knox Knockouts Pro Academy. I think that's Rikishi stuff. So basically, if you are a WWE wrestler or a WWE former act, you have a school, you're basically affiliate. I wonder if this is going to apply to Meiko Satomura in Japan. She has her promotion, Sendai Girls over there, or Shinjo, however you want to say it, right? Would that be a part of this? I don't know. But this is great for these particular affiliates and whoever gets affiliated with them. What I'm seeing online is it bad for the rest of the scene? So let's look at some of the reaction to this. Let me see if I can pull this up. First of all, the chat, what's your thoughts? Are you excited? Do you like it? So here was Capital Championship Combat. C4, they had this to say. The point of independent wrestling is for talent to discover themselves and develop themselves to grow to learn. You claim to be independent, but are bound to $1 billion company. You're not independent. If you're a young trainee, there's no fast track to the big leagues. I know when you're 19, 20, 21, etc., it may feel like it's a now or never type situation, but to make a career in wrestling, but don't rush it. Don't rush yourself. Pride yourself on growing and traveling. This sounds to me like you're saying these people need to romanticize being broke and working out. Like, see, you hear all these damn stories about how people are like trying to make it in wrestling. They're like wrestling in front of 10 people, living out of their car. This is not a great way to live, okay? These people don't want to live like that. They're doing it they're sacrificing for the dream. This idea like, oh yes, you should want to be in the struggle. You should want to be out there scrapping and living off of, $2 a show. No, these people want to make their dreams a reality. They want to get a chance to make it to the WWE. They're going to go to the affiliate, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think too many times we romanticize the struggle and being poor and working out of your car, and like, I don't like that, okay? If there's an opportunity to make my dream a reality, there should be more of that out there. I don't have a problem with Booker T's school or Cody Rhodes' school being like affiliated with WWE, and then talent saying, you know what, I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna have a chance to make it. That's not a problem. That's good for the talent. It's good for now. Now let me be clear. If you're a school or any promotion or whatever that's not affiliated with WWE, I get it. Okay, you're gonna like, hey, they're gonna go to there. Of course, that's like with anything. That's like college football. If you have a college football program that's known for having players go to NFL, guess what? They're going to go to LSU. They're going to go to Michigan. They're going to go to Ohio State. They're not going to go to Jackson State or to Middle Tennessee or freaking Navy, okay? They're going to go to the big boys. And in this case, now the affiliates are going to be the big boys, and the talent are going to flock there. I don't see it as a problem, definitely not for WWE, right? Or for the affiliates. I can understand being upset by that. But this notion that you got to struggle and like, let's see, I promise any young kid out there that shows potential, that spends 5 to 10 years making a name for themselves, that's a long damn time, bro. Developing and becoming confident in their own skin by traveling, working, a variety of talent is going to make you much more valuable than what school you pick. Again, sometimes I feel like we're just romanticizing the struggle. Like, I'm going to tell Braun Breaker, let me see this. I feel like I have some value, in my opinion, having done this for nearly 2 decades, but nobody I've seen gain success in wrestling did it by following a predetermined path or taking an easy route. So the folks like Braun Breaker, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, the folks that went to the PC and got a direct line to WWE who are not successful, they took the easy route. It's bad for their development. That sounds ridiculous. That's a predetermined path. Get to WWE, work level up, work the NXT, get to the main roster. That's a predetermined path, right? Is that bad? Did Braun Breaker take a bad route? Did Tiffany Stratton take a bad route? Doesn't make sense. Now, there's a bias here. If you're like one of these independent entities that's separate from WWE, you don't want to be affiliated with them, then there's a bias there. Of course, you're going to say, hey, don't go there. You should struggle and fight the good fight and, work 5-10 years on the indies path in my place, in my school. There's bias here, okay? So you can't really take this for the straight, a straight shooter here. This is more like, there's a bias in this comment. I understand his concern to a certain extent, but I don't agree with what he's saying here. I get the idea that, yes, this is going to be a problem for me or for the other companies or other promotions or schools, because the talent are going to want to go to the affiliated stuff. I get that, but this whole romanticizing the struggle, I don't like it. Not necessary. You're excited for the program, noob? It's great for WWE. That is without question. It's great for them and for the affiliates. I'm not concerned. I'm not really thinking about the negatives right now until I see it. Right now, that would just be like me fear mongering. Oh my God, this is terrible. This is scary. We don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea what this is going to bring. We have no idea. So for me to come on here and say, oh, this is going to be awful for the independent scene in America, we don't know. Okay, so that'd be going too far. We don't know yet. But yeah, this is interesting. I'm more interested to know if this is going to go beyond the WWE, or not beyond WWE, but beyond America. It's going to be happening in Mexico. It's going to be happening in Japan. Like, for example, Mako Satomura's dojo, Marigold's dojo. Are we going to have people in Marigold like out there, like others? We have scouts going to Marigold. That's what I'm thinking about. Cause that is this wrestling school. That they have a dojo, right? So that's interesting. So I'm more looking at it from a positive route right now until I see the negatives, right? Here, John Cena talking about it here. Let's see what John Cena had to say. Such an incredible time to be passionate about WWE. So I'm sure people get on about this. From the fans around the world who fuel the current superstars to those hopeful of one day standing in a WWE ring, this is a massive step forward. He's so happy about it. Congratulations to WWE and Triple H. Let's see. This is great, John. So yes, I mean, it's mixed online, it's mixed. Let's see what Booker T had to say. Because he is one of the people named in the damn news drop. Let's see. Where is Booker T? I'm pretty sure I bookmarked his. Here's good old Booker. So proud to be part of the WWE ID program. We have put so much work into out of wrestling, and now it's time to take it up a notch. So if you guys don't know, Roxanne Perez came out of here. There's a lot of young talent, especially in the women's division in reality of wrestling. So they now are affiliates. So all those women down there who are cooking in the ring, they now have a direct path to WWE through scouting. So that's good for them. It's good for the talent that's signed there. It's good for Booker T and good for the affiliates. Okay. Do they have advantage in the independent scene? Yes, they have advantage. And that's the concern for some folks, because now the talent, like I've been saying, the talent will be flocking to these affiliates. Not a bad thing yet. I don't see it as a bad thing yet. We'll see what happens. Let's look at another. See what else before we move on. Anything else? Again, I'm most interested to know if it's going to go beyond the America. That's what I want to know. See what Murphs had to say. Good old Murphs. He's had something smart to say, probably not. This is an interesting part to me. WWE is going to get the first crack at up and coming independent prospects by scouting and recognizing them early on and designating them for their program. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So yeah, so you have a Javon Evans in these affiliates or these other schools, right? And they pop off, then they have a first dibs, basically. First crack at them. So this incentivizes, so the emphasis is to, go to these promotions or go to these affiliates, go to these schools, show up, show out, put in the work, get seen, get noticed, and then you'll be up to the NXT very soon. So it's good for the talent that's there, for sure, right? There's pros and cons to everything. I won't talk about the cons until I see it. The cons are like I can project the pros. I can see the pros clearly. The cons are just fear mongering. It's just like we don't know what's going to happen with the cons yet. I can see the pros to it clearly. The cons are just me like spitting bullshit, I think, at this point. We don't know how it's going to affect the indie scene. We don't know how it's going to affect talent jumping over. We don't know, okay? Because honestly, it's hard to travel, right? So if you're like close to these affiliates, or you're going to move to the affiliates, fine. But I don't know how much people are going to leave. I'm going to leave this school to go to this other school. I don't know how much that's going to happen, okay? It's going to be more regional. So if you're by Cody Rhodes' school, and you're thinking about being a wrestler, you're gonna say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go there now, or I'm gonna be more motivated to get up and go there because it's affiliate. I'm not projecting or thinking about people leaving schools and people like abandoning their dojos. I don't see that right now. But we'll see what happens. It's a new program. There's time to complain and bitch about it. There's plenty of time. Okay, but I'm excited for it. See how it works out. You have someone like Zila Fatu. He's already at one of these affiliates, but he don't need the affiliate, right? He's blood. He's a Fatu. He's gonna get a chance no matter what. So I don't think that makes much of a difference. Oh, Zila Fatu, he's at one of these affiliates. I don't think that really matters for him. He's in the family, you know. He's gonna get a chance no matter what. So I don't think it doesn't make much of a difference for folks like him who are related to the bloodline, right? Who are in the family. There's other folk, other women, other talent that are at these affiliated companies. They're going to have a chance, you know. They're going to have opportunities. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens. It's cool. We'll see. I'm not worried about it. I think it'll be interesting. I mean, again, we have to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt. It's not Vince McMahon. It's not Vince. Okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. All right. The official designation for WWE ID. Now, if I was in a school, I'd be doing everything I can to become a WWE ID designation, to get that designation. I'll be doing anything I can to get that done. Call up Triple H, call up WWE. Hey, we have a school here. It's large. We're cooking over here. We'd like to be a WWE ID affiliate. Why not do that? It'll be interesting. We'll see. All right, let's move on from that. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about Raw. Raw was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't terrible. It was fine. I thought it had some good moments. It had some bad moments. It had some so-so moments. It was 2 hours that you could probably skip. I mean, there was some good stuff that happened. So let's talk about it, okay? Start from the top. Let's start from the top, okay? So Jey Uso comes down to the ring to call out Jimmy Uso, right? Jimmy Uso was thankful for Jey Uso coming out and helping him on SmackDown, on the first taping of SmackDown, remember? Because we have a double taping, but the first taping we saw already. Jey cuts him off and said, hey, Us, we made it. You know, I became the IC champion. Folks used to get us mixed up. Now they don't do that anymore. Like, they recognize who we are. We're two separate people. We had our own faults, our own wins, our own losses. We stand on our own 2 feet. I'm my own man, you're my own man, but nothing was better than to be your brother, right? No matter what I've done over here on my own, being your brother was the most important thing to him. So nice moment between the two. Brothers coming together. You know, they're twins. They can only be mad for so long, right? Ultimately, the twins are going to come back together. That's fine, right? So it's a good moment, good feel-good moment for them. And then, of course, the Bloodline interrupted them. You had the Usos fighting off Jacob, Solo, and the crew. They ultimately stood tall. I thought it was a solid section of the show. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I thought it was fine. Do you guys agree? Do you think it was a good opening segment of the show? That was fine. This was kind of funny. Like, no! I thought Jimmy was going to pull a Cody Rhodes. Like, no, take me. But they're actually going to beat up Jimmy. But ultimately, Jey Uso threw a chair at Jacob, turned the tables, got him out of there, and the brothers stood and sat tall. Good opening segment. The Usos are back together. The crowd loves it. This is very straightforward, simple storytelling that the crowd is going to eat up every time. They're going to eat it up every single time. This is a can't lose story. They can't lose here. No matter what they do with Jimmy, Jey, and Roman, the crowd's going to love it. They want to see them come back together. They want to see the reunion. It's going to get a loud pops no matter what. It's all good for the Bloodline, folks. It's all good. You guys agree? Or do you think it sucked? Mid-show, yeah, it was kind of mid-show. Pierce was upset that the Bloodline came back. He sure was. That was like the next segment. He came out like, he was so pissed. Like, Nick Aldis, like, what are you doing? Nick Aldis? Shouldn't you be running your ship? Like, what? Why is your Bloodline on my damn show? It's a valid point. Like, dude, I'm trying to run a show here. I got plans. I got shit to do. And every damn show, I don't know how to get in. Don't you have security? Well, I guess we saw that one segment where the Bloodline beat up security, so it doesn't really matter there, I guess. But yeah, Bloodline can do what they want, show up where they want, and Adam Pearce has had enough. He's had enough. But anyway, he doesn't have time for that, because when he's complaining to Nick Aldis, what happened? Judgment Day walk up. So Dom is like, hey, who's my opponent? It's supposed to be a former world champion. Of course, it's Damian Priest. I don't know why they teased Damian Priest. Like, Damian Priest had been feuding with them for the longest time now. I don't know why it had to be a surprise or like a shock or a tease. Like, just say it's going to be Damian Priest from the get-go. Why are they trying to make it a surprise or make it a big deal? I don't understand that part. So, of course, it's Dom against Damian Priest for the main event. Now, I was very disappointed and annoyed. Not only have I seen them wrestling for a while now, I don't care about this matchup anymore at this point. Damian Priest needs to move on. Dom needs to move on. I get it for the sake of setting up Dom as the number one contender, but I just was not looking forward to this main event, which is why I fell asleep. I had to go back and watch it later on the next day, or today. I had to watch it because I fell asleep during the damn main event because I was not looking forward to it. So naturally, my brain subconsciously just fell asleep during that time, right before the main event. I don't really remember what happened, so I had to watch it back this morning. Finn was walking slowly. Finn is a snake. So yeah, if you don't know, so we'll talk about it later on. But was that on the show? Because I've been watching some clips online. Was Finn talking to Dom about the world title picture and how they need to focus on the tag titles and Finn looking all upset? Was that during the show or was that on like the Raw talk or after the show? Because another clip with Bianca and Jade that I saw that I thought I missed, but it turns out that was also on Raw Talk or after the show or whatever, or a digital exclusive, something like that. So was the Dom being upset that, so was Finn being upset that Dom won? Was that on the show or was that after show? Raw Talk? Okay, so a lot of the character moments, a lot of the story beats are happening on Raw Talk. Used to be on the 3-hour show, but now because it's 2 hours, it's on Raw Talk. Interesting. So now Raw Talk has become must-see. So now after every Raw, we need to go tune into Raw Talk to get the juice about the storylines, I guess. Whatever. So they set up the match for the main event. Then we got Sheamus against Ludwig Kaiser. This was always a good match. What's confusing about this match here is that I thought we were done with this. It feels like a retread of this feud. Feels like a retread, but of course these are two good workers. They hooked in a ring. Good match. I just felt like it was kind of a retread. Sheamus won with his finisher. This match went about 10 minutes. Good stuff. Crowd was into it. I like Ludwig Kaiser. Good talent. But yeah, this was kind of a retread, I felt like. But it was fine. Like, I'm not going to complain about a good match. Good match. 10 minutes. It's all good, right? It's all good. What happened next? Let's see. I guess now Sheamus is now number one contender for the IC title, kind of. So are they going to set up Sheamus against Braun Breaker? Is that the move here? I would like to see that. It's a good match. That's exciting. So Sheamus against Braun Breaker within the next couple months or within the next month. That's probably going to work for us here. Good stuff. But again, that Sheamus match with Kaiser kind of felt like we've been here, done that kind of match, but whatever. Then we got a backstage, like not backstage, but a promo segment from Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley is kind of sick of Raquel and her nonsense, right? Raquel cut a promo last week. Now it's Rhea Ripley's turn. And during the promo, she says, hey, maybe I've done some wrong things. Maybe I've done some bad things, okay? Maybe I have done some bad things. I laughed out loud. I believe that the issue we're getting here with Raquel, not Raquel, but with Rhea and Liv Morgan, that Liv Morgan wants Rhea Ripley to apologize. It's all about feeling remorse. Liv Morgan is so upset, mostly because Rhea Ripley has not owned up to her bullshit. That's how she feels. And if that's the direction they're going, because Rhea Ripley refuses to say, you know what, yeah, I've made some mistakes. Well, she says that, but she's not clear about it. She's not giving up her part in the whole nonsense. She doesn't really own up to it fully. So what I believe is very possible that Rhea could one day, maybe even in the main event of WrestleMania, well, not the main events, but in the match at WrestleMania, she can finally come out and say, you know what, Liv Morgan, I apologize. I was wrong. We may get that moment before the match ends, before the feud ends. We may actually have a moment where Rhea Ripley actually owns up to her evil doings and say, you know what, I apologize. I'm sorry I hurt you. That could be like an end cap for the feud. I truly believe that is what Liv Morgan actually wants. Like, she has this whole revenge tour. She's talking all this. She gets Dom. Like, no, she gets to Judgment Day. She's upset that her once friend turned on her, beat her up, destroyed her shoulder, and shows no real remorse. That's just I would love that from a character standpoint, from a character dynamic, structuring a storyline. I would love that if that's the direction I want to go, because it ultimately comes down to like the emotions of the heart, right? Like, I'm upset because you hurt me and you haven't apologized for that. That's why all this is happening, right? So she ultimately, as mad as Liv Morgan is, if Rhea Ripley shows actual remorse, it says, I'm sorry, I did hurt you, my bad. That could go a long way to softening Liv Morgan so the feud can end. Because right now, why would the feud ever end? Liv Morgan hates her guts. So you can't just have Rhea Ripley beat her. That's the end of it, right? Liv Morgan got to feel like Rhea Ripley owned up to something. Okay? That's my thought process. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Would this ruin Rhea Ripley? Rhea never apologizing. She should. She should apologize. The issue with Rhea and Liv is that they're both heels, but Rhea is so popular. So here's the thing. Rhea is no longer a heel, though. She's no longer a heel. I get what you're saying. She still plays like that kind of tweener role almost sometimes, but she's definitely a face. She's a face. That's why she says, I did some things wrong in the past. If she was a heel, she wouldn't say that. She wouldn't have acknowledged that. She's a face. She's very stubborn and like doesn't want to admit to exactly what she did. She's like, oh yeah, I did some stuff wrong. No, but what did you do wrong? What did you do? Say it. You injured Liv Morgan. You were petty. You were a scumbag. Like, say what you did. I think at some point she needs to say that, truly, before the feud can actually end. Before the feud can be over, you got to apologize. I have her apologizing at WrestleMania in the ring. She'll finally drop the veneer, to drop that facade. She'll say, Liv, I'm sorry I hurt you in the ring. Off mic, like in the middle of the match, near the end of it. And then she'll hit the riptide. And then that'll be enough for Liv Morgan to say, you know what? It's over. I'm done. Feud over. Could be wrong. No, that's what, remember when Shawn Michaels said, I'm sorry. Well, that's really to say I'm sorry about kicking you in the face. Well, that's what I'm about to do, right? But it'd be a similar moment to that. He's saying, I'm sorry for hurting you, but I want to win this match, right? I have to win this, but I'm sorry. I don't want you to win the match, but I'm acknowledging my wrongdoing. You're in the ring right now. You're probably crying. You're screaming, I hate you. I hate you. I created this. This is my doing. I created it. I see that now. I'm remorseful. Liv Morgan, I'm sorry. What happens after that? If she's truthful and she's really remorseful, if she really feels that, then she can hit the Riptide all day long to win the match. But if she actually cares, like, I'm sorry, I did this to you, my bad, like, I really feel bad about it. I see that now. I'm dropping the facade. I'm dropping this mask I've been wearing. I'm sorry, Liv Morgan, and she's emotional about it. It's gonna work fine. It's gonna work fine. And then she hits the Riptide to end the match. It's all good. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here. Bayley has never said sorry. She hasn't, which is why the eventual Bayley Bianca, she may never say sorry, Bianca. She may never say that. But that's another moment that may have to happen. If Bayley and Bianca are ever going to be on the same level, if they're ever going to be on the same page, she has to apologize for what she did. So there's two people, Bayley, Rhea Ripley, who are faces who have not apologized for what they did. Good story stuff, guys. It's good story stuff. It's good story stuff right there for you. Use it. Use the story beats you got. But you cut a promo against Raquel. Raquel, I'm coming for you. It's you're like, you've been owning her every week. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, Rhea Ripley, but okay. She's coming for Raquel. So they're setting up that match, right? Raquel cuts a promo. Rhea cuts a promo. So they both cut promos. Now the question is, when does the match happen? Not happen at Crown Jewel. Will it happen on the main event of Raw, maybe? Probably, sure. Is this a part of the... It is. It has to be. They can have a singles match, but ultimately this is going to lead to War Games. So is this a War Games tease, or will they have a match before War Games in order to build towards it? So we have Rhea Ripley, Liv, Kel, and in the War Games match, I thought it was going to be Io Sky and Kairi Sane. No, what? I'll save that. I'll save that to the end. Talking about War Games, save it to the end because I have thoughts. Because I may have been wrong. But we'll see. We will see. But then backstage, Sami Zayn is talking to Jey Uso. Seems like, what the hell's going on here? I see you in the ring talking to Jimmy. Like, what are you doing? Are you going back to the Gaslighter, Roman Reigns? Now, I like this segment because the segment makes sense. If you're Sami Zayn, why the hell are you going to be okay with Jey going back to Roman Reigns? Does it make any sense? Roman is a gaslighter. Roman is a horrible person. You're falling for the trap, Jey. You're falling for the trap. Okay, so it makes sense. Jey, not trying to hear it from Sami because it's a family business. And Sami doesn't get it because Sami is not family. This works well all around because it makes sense. If you've been in a family, you can hate your family all day long, but ultimately sometimes you come back together because you're family. It's sometimes hard to understand, right? But there've been times where you cut your family off, so I'm not saying it's impossible, but Sami Zayn can't possibly understand Jey because Jey's a twin. It's a little different, okay? When you're a twin, it's a little different, okay? All right? But Sami is trying to save Jey because he thinks that Jey's going to go down the same path, get manipulated, get screwed over by Roman Reigns. So it all makes sense here. These are two faces that disagree. Two baby faces that disagree. Good stuff. I like it. Jey is trying to understand Sami Zayn, but at the same time, she's like, no, you don't really get it because you're not family. And it hurt Sami. It hurt him, which leads to a segment later on. We'll talk about that later with Sami talking to Solo. We'll get to that later. I thought it was a good segment. All worked well. Good story stuff here. Again, crowd eats us up. They want to see Sami and Jey Uso. They want to see Sami reunite with Roman Reigns. They want to see the four of them, Sami, Jey, Jimmy, and Roman. They want to see it. They're dying to see it. They're going to get it. The crowd will pop when Sami Zayn comes and makes the save one day. It's all going to be great stuff it's like, you can't lose with the storyline. You can't lose. It's too easy to get it right. Not to mention when Paul Heyman comes back, it's way too good to not use it. Sami will be in the War Games match. He will be in the War Games match for sure. And they will stand tall in that ring, I believe. Let's talk about Gunther. So Gunther cut a promo backstage, or not really backstage, but in a vignette or whatever, a promo segment that was filmed before, talking about Cody Rhodes. setting up the Cody Rhodes match for, not setting up, but teasing or promoting the match with Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. That's going to happen. Great. And then we had Zelina Vega taking on Ivy Nile. I had some thoughts about this match because wasn't the best, unfortunately. You guys know I like to praise the women, like, shout out the women. I'm a fan of women's wrestling, but I can't defend. The match was kind of mid. There was some okay spots. The crowd was into it enough. She missed the moonsault, unfortunately. I'm happy that was not the end of the match. So Zelina Vega goes for the moonsault, misses the body completely, kind of like grazes her head a little bit. Not the best part of the match. Ultimately, it ends with Ivy Nile hitting her finisher, like some type of I don't know how to even describe it. So, I can't remember the name they called her finisher, like something like a reverse. Yeah, I don't even know what they call the finisher. I don't remember what they called it. I want to say Unagi, like it was like a reverse Unagi, something like that. I don't know. It's interesting. But she wins the match. Ivy Nile does. There was a whole bunch of distraction going on. Like the American Maid was fighting a WO on the outside. A lot of activity. This is a moonsault she missed. You didn't even see it. Like she's gonna be off. She's gonna be off center there. Oh yeah, this is even better. Like, so you see where she, wow, they actually put this up. That's messed up. So you see where her body is. You see where Ivy Nile is. Ivy Nile is off. I don't remember how she got there. I don't remember if Ivy Nile laid there after she got hit, or if Zelina Vega put her there. But you see she's kind of off center. Based on the post, she should be over here. Her head should be like over here. So maybe that's why she's off. But yeah, she was off, unfortunately. Yeah, great seller she is. Zelina Vega is a great seller, great worker, a good worker. But yeah, this is a bad moonsault. German suplex, bridged. Here's the LWO fighting American Maid on the sidelines. Was there a moment where I want to say Chad Gable grabbed Rey Mysterio? Am I crazy? Was that this match? Am I thinking about something else? Maybe that's something else. But anyway, Ivy Nile wins. It was I'll give this match like 7 minutes. Wasn't that long? 6.5, 7 minutes. It was like C-. The tag match. Okay, that's when it was. Okay, it was a tag match, not this match. That makes sense. Where is Lyra Valkyria? I agree. Where is Lyra Valkyria? Where is she doing? I always say sometimes it's better to be from a visibility standpoint, not from a monetary standpoint, like money, and not from that standpoint, not financially, but from a visibility standpoint. Sometimes it's better to be in NXT, at the top of the card, than to be in the mid card of the main roster, because you end up like Lyra Valkyria, not on TV whatsoever. There's only 2 hours for Raw, and there's only like time for one women's match, unfortunately. Raw's been sucking for the women. It's been terrible for the women. SmackDown is solid. NXT is great, but Raw is not great at all. Really unfortunate. Lyra, I don't know what you're doing, but I feel for you. We're thinking about you, Lyra. You're a great wrestler, but you're not being on TV. So let's move on. So after Ivy Nile had a decent match with Zelina Vega, we had Jimmy talking to Jay about how, let me talk to Sami Zayn. Like, you talked to Sami Zayn, but let me talk to him. I'll get through to him. Let me just talk to him. I'll let him know what's going on here, how things have changed. We're not the same. We're on the same page now. We're good. I'm going to talk to him first. Let me talk to him. So that's what Jimmy's mission was for the rest of the show. Find Sami Zayn and talk to him. Did he find him and talk to him? He found him, but he didn't talk to him. But we'll talk about that later. Seth Rollins goes to the ring. Seth Rollins is upset with Bronson Reed, of course. He wants his shot at Bronson Reed, calls him out. Bronson Reed is in the garage or the parking deck, wherever the hell he was. Chilling in the back, calling him out to the parking lot, say, hey, I'm out here, come fight me here. Seth Rollins runs out there to go take him on. and we get this one shot. So they're following Seth Rollins the entire time to the back. He walks to the back. He walks to where Bronson Reed is. And it's a one shot the entire time. So the entire shot, the entire interaction was a one shot. Good stuff. He stomps him onto the car, as you can see here. He then goes to cut a promo, and then Bronson Reed gets up, started beating up the security. The fight continues into the freaking truck. WWE official truck here. Good stuff. They hyped up the match. This is a good way to hype it up. I was not that excited for the match, but after this, I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm excited for it. This is probably my second most anticipated match. First being Kevin Owens and Randy. Now this is my second most anticipated match. So good job here hyping up the match. I'm ready to see the chaos. I'm ready to see all the I don't know if this match is a anywhere falls match. I don't think so, but they made it fun. They made it fun. Hit that Death Valley driver to the outside onto the tables. As you see here, boom, right through the tables. And then Bronson Reed stands tall. Now, I would want to see Bronson Reed win this match because you build him up strong, doing a great job with Bronson Reed. Let's continue it. Let's continue the Bronson Reed push. Seth can win later on. But I want to see Bronson Reed winning in Saudi Arabia. Maybe hit 7, 8 not that many finishers, because then he might be out for a while. So I don't want Seth Rollins to be out for a long time. But maybe at the end of this match, someone will be out in kayfabe for a while because of the brutality of the match. We'll see how that goes. Tsunami! Good stuff though. Got me hyped. What's your thoughts on this segment? Did you guys like this backstage thing? Like what they're cooking? Like the build? I do. It's a regular match in Saudi. That sucks. Yeah, I love Bronson Reed. I love his work he's been doing with what's his face? Braun Strowman. Now with Seth. They've been doing a good job hyping him up as this vicious, dangerous guy where anything can happen. Whenever Bronson Reed is involved, anything can happen. Any type of match can happen. Any type of injuries, any type of angles, any type of destruction of the backstage. Anything goes when Bronson Reed's around. That's smart for his booking. They made him a big deal. Just like that. Great job with Bronson Reed. Good segment. Let's talk about that tag team match. This is probably the match of the night. Not even probably. This is the match of the night. They cooked in this match. I was a fan of everything they did here. Ultimately, it ended with War Raiders standing tall. Good idea. I like that for the War Raiders. They are pushing them. Well, they beat. I think they're going to beat them. By them, I mean the Judgment Day. I think they're going to win because I think they want Finn Balor to be focusing on the singles title, on the world title, maybe. Especially now that Dom has won the main event against Priest. So maybe you want Finn Balor to be focused on that title in that scene. So I like the idea of War Raiders winning this match. Push them. They're back from injury. I like that for them. Now go chase those titles and beat them. Beat the Bloodline. Not Bloodline. Beat the Judgment Day. I'm all for the War Raiders winning. But this is a fun match. Good action. Chad Gable got involved. Like we talked about before. Oh, Rey Mysterio, look at this. Freaking Chad Gable, man. Good stuff. Good stuff all around. Pulling the trigger on the War Raiders here. I'm all for it. What say you? Do you guys want the War Raiders to win the tag titles? I want them to win. Give it to War Raiders. You have the War Raiders on Raw, and you have Motor City Machine Guns on SmackDown. I'm all for it. Ray Gable feud? Yeah, that's the direction here. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. I skipped over a segment, by the way. I'll get back to it. Skipped over it. Priest cost Finn next week. Oh, yeah. So, well, let's have them lose clean. They probably won't. There'll probably be some type of distraction. But I agree. Yeah, Finn will probably have to deal with Priest because what happened in the main event. So I agree with you. That's probably what's going to happen. Damian Priest will come down. and mess with Finn and JD and cause a distraction, which would lead to the loss. Similar to on SmackDown, where Motor City Machine Guns won the titles because Jey Uso and Jimmy got involved. It was a family feud out there. So probably the same type of thing. I'm happy for the War Raiders. Good for them. Chad Gable stands tall, even though they lost. Well, wait a minute. He didn't lose. He wasn't involved at all. American Made was not involved. It was LWO, War Raiders, and Kofi Kingston, well, in the New Day, basically, right? Let's go back and talk about The Miz. The Miz in the Final Testament is kind of interesting. So The Miz realized that he bit off too much that he can chew here with this whole Wyatt 6 thing. He's trying to avoid it. Trying to get out of the whole Wyatt 6 feud, basically. Get out of their crosshairs. And Final Testament is saying, nah, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be in this with us, whether you like it or not. And then The Miz tries to go talk to Alpha Academy and R-Truth. He thinks he can get back with R-Truth and be in his good graces. R-Truth ain't trying to hear that. He slaps him in the face and says, "Have fun with the Wyatts." Hilarious, and walks out. So R-Truth getting smarter. He's not falling for The Miz's nonsense. So now we have a reluctant The Miz with the kind of unpredictable, kind of wild cards that are the Final Testament teaming up to deal with the Wyatt 6. This is good stuff. Good character stuff from The Miz because he doesn't want to be in the feud with them, but he bit off more than he can chew, got involved with Final Testament. Now he can't escape them. I think he said, if you get out of this with the Wyatt 6, I'm going to break your legs. That's what Karen Cross said to him. So he's in deep. But good character stuff from The Miz. Like that direction for him. I like what they're doing with Final Testament. Final Testament is kind of annoying. Not annoying. They're kind of interesting now. They were kind of annoying and like irrelevant. But now, direction they have now, I'm interested in Karen Cross, what he's doing with the Final Testament with The Miz. Let's see where it goes. Maybe it'll be good. Loomis kidnapped Miz on Raw Talk. So I gotta watch Raw Talk. I've not watched Raw Talk. Everything's happening on Raw. Okay, so I gotta watch Raw Talk. Okay. It's basically, so this is what I think is happening, folks. They plan segments for the 2-hour Raw, and whatever gets cut, like these are like substantial, real segments that get moved to Raw Talk. Well, these are all things that used to be on the 3-hour show. Now it's getting cut from the 2-hour show. These are like real legitimate, like real segments we need to watch. Because I feel like everything we're seeing, Bianca Jade thing, getting kidnapped by Loomis, all this stuff needs to be on the actual show, but it can't because it's 2 hours now. So interesting. I'm gonna watch Raw Talk after this. Okay, so after this stream, I'm gonna watch Raw Talk, see what the hell happened. I kind of need to know. The Miz got kidnapped. I didn't know that till just now. I had no idea. What is going on, folks, with the Raw and Raw Talk, man? What the hell am I watching? What the hell is this? What in the hell? Bobby Lashley says that he tried to get Bianca into Pride. Yeah, that was never going to happen. Doesn't want to turn heel. She's so much of an inspiration for many people that she can't. That's not the only reason. Bianca is, she's so much of a star that she can't be in the Pride. Like, she's her own woman, her own thing. She's like a force on her own. Bianca Belair does not need a group. She doesn't need a faction. If she does have one, she needs to be the leader of it. So if she's going to be in the Pride, she'll have to be the leader of the Pride. Now, I don't think that dynamic will work. So it makes sense not to have her in that group. Sorry, Bobby Lashley. That was never going to happen, really. Let's move on. So when R-Truth walked off from The Miz, Pete Dunne walked by. So we had Pete Dunne sighting. So he's alive. He's kicking. He's in catering, walking around backstage. So what are they going to do with Pete Dunne? Will Pete Dunne get involved with R-Truth? Will he get involved with the Final Testament? I don't know. But he's backstage, walking around. So yeah, that happened. They talked about how Seth Rollins is going to go to a medical facility or hospital, whatever, for his injuries. Will that affect him for the crown jewel match? Will he walk in with a wrapping around his waist? Will he walk in with an injury? Will he walk in with some type of like handicap during the match? I don't know. We'll see. Miz talked to Final Testament, talked about that already. So Final Testament said the Miz needs to be, the Miz had to take on Bo Dallas apparently. I didn't watch that part. I didn't see that part. Apparently Karen Cross said something about the Miz need to take on Bo Dallas. He can't do that right now, right? Because he got kidnapped apparently. I gotta go watch Raw talk. After that, we got the main event, right? No, we didn't. So this is another thing that happened, right? So Jimmy Uso was looking for Sami Zayn, right? Walking around looking for Sami Zayn, can't find him. Talk to Jay. It's like, Jay, did I find him? Did you find him? Did you see Sami Zayn? Like, no. And then they saw him talking to Solo Sikoa. So Solo, let me see if I saw that picture. I should have it. Let's see. Here it is. There's somebody beating on, like, maybe putting up a damn picture somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, so Sami Zayn is seen talking to Solo Sikoa, and the IWC said, "Oh my God, it's such a betrayal. He's turning heel." No, you fool. Sami Zayn not turning heel. Sami's listening to what Solo has to say. He's listening. But ultimately, Sami Zayn is going to turn him down. It's a swerve or a misdirection, right? Sami is talking to Solo, but ultimately, at the end of the conversation, he says, "You know what? I'm good. Sorry, deuces. I'm not a part of this," right? But Jimmy and Jay saw it as him maybe siding with Solo Sikoa, which they teased earlier. So they teased that. So good stuff here. So what's going to happen on SmackDown with Sami and Solo? I don't know, but Sami is not joining the Bloodline or the new Bloodline. He's not joining Solo Sikoa. Okay, that's not happening. Sami will turn him down. But for the simpletons, I'm joking. But some people will think, oh no, he's going to be joining Solo and Jacob. Oh no, he's joining The Rock. No, Sami is not going to join The Rock or Solo or Jacob. He will ultimately join with Roman, Jimmy, and Jay. Okay, that's going to happen. So there's good stuff here. Good stuff. Sami will make KO crash out so hard. Right. So Sami and KO are kind of like on the same wavelength, but in different ways, right? KO is upset that Cody teamed up with Roman Reigns, which makes sense. Sami Zayn is upset that Jey Uso going back to Roman Reigns, which makes sense. Sami would take a different route. For Cody dealing with Kevin Owens being upset and they have to have a feud now, a physical altercation, Sami will take a different route. Sami will ultimately come around to join Jimmy, Jay, and Roman Reigns. And that may cause a rift between Sami and Kevin Owens again. Because Kevin Owens say, "What are you doing? Why are you teaming with Roman Reigns? After everything he did to you?" Oh, this would be good stuff for Kevin Owens down the road. He's already mad with Cody Rhodes, right? He's mad at Cody. Now Kevin Owens will be mad at Sami Zayn for teaming up with Roman after everything he's done. That'd be good. Good stuff on the horizon. War Games is going to be crazy. If it's Roman, Sami, Jay, and Jimmy, that's going to be a crazy War Games match. Different emotions, different character development going on there. Cool stuff. Gotta happen. It's gotta happen. And I think, because for Crown Jewel, it's going to be a 6-man tag match between Roman, the twins, and Tanga, and Solo. No, Jacob, Tongaloa. I'm missing. Is Jacob, Tonga, and Solo. And I think they're going to beat Roman Reigns and the twins, and they'll say, "Damn, we need some help. We need Sami Zayn. We need somebody else. We can't do it on our own. We need some more help." That'll bring Sami into the fold, I think, for War Games. I don't think Sami will get involved at Crown Jewel because I think it's too early. Sami needs to be persuaded. He needs to be like, need to work on Sami Zayn. I think it'd be too quick for him to join Roman Reigns right now. So Crown Jewel, 6-on-6, and then you have, there's a numbers game advantage with the Bloodline. So Roman will lose. I think Roman will lose. Jimmy probably take the pin. They'll probably pin Jimmy. That'll be that. What do you guys think? You agree with me? Do you think Sami is going to join at Crown Jewel? I don't think so. I think Sami will join after Crown Jewel. I think the babyfaces got to lose at Crown Jewel. Faces have to lose. Saudi love Sami. Sure do. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Sami Zayn is very popular in Saudi Arabia. They get a large pop there. Maybe something happens on SmackDown. I haven't seen SmackDown, so maybe on the double taping, Sami comes out, does something, gets back with the Roman Reigns, I guess, and then maybe at Crown Jewel, it's a big pop. Yeah, that could happen. It would be a mistake to not use Sami Zayn in some way, some fashion. Remember, another thing to keep in mind, Raw is in Saudi Arabia. So you can always have Sami Zayn pop up on Raw. Raw is in Saudi. So you can get your Saudi pop there. Sami Zayn can get a pop on Raw. Okay? Raw is in Saudi Arabia. That's what I would do. I've had Sami Zayn pop up on Raw in Saudi Arabia, but have Roman lose on the Saudi show in Crown Jewel. That's what I would do. And finally, for the main event, it was Dom taking on Damian Priest. Good. It's a good look, by the way, for all three of them. Good look. I like the look. So Dom won by interference, of course. Carlito got involved. I think JD got involved as well. Liv Morgan got involved. All got involved. And Dom pulled a fast one by rolling up Damian Priest and got the win. This was a good match. It was a short match. It was fine. It was a good match. It wasn't good. It was fine. It was a fine match. Here's JD getting involved here. Here's Carlito getting involved. Everyone and their mother got involved here. That led to chair shots from Priest and Dom winning. So now Dom is #1 contender for Gunther's title. So are they going to do Dom against Gunther? I guess it's possible, but that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I guess. Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown, of course, and champion, so that can't happen. CM Punk is out with the injury. Drew McIntyre is out selling an injury, so you have Dom here. Survivor Series, Dom against... No, I don't think so. It'd be on Raw. Main event on Raw, Dom against Gunther. Bunch of interference. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I can't picture how that match goes beyond Gunther just winning, but how do you book that? How do you book the build for that? Dom against Gunther? We'll see. Dom technically stole Priest's title shot against Gunther. Of course, Priest would be pissed. Oh yeah, I remember that. Dom said stay in the back. He did say that. That's true. He said stay in the back, and Finn didn't come out there, but everybody else did. And Finn was upset on Raw Talk. I just saw that segment on Twitter. Finn was upset with JD. JD's like, what's the problem? What who cares? Like we went out there, Dom won. Like, why are you so upset? Finn does not want Dom to have the title. Same way as with Priest, right? He was mad when Priest was champion. He's gonna be mad with Dom challenging because he deep down wants the shot of the title. He wants to be the world champion. So that's gonna cause a rift between Finn and Liv Morgan down the line. Of course, because Liv Morgan wants her Dom to be champ. So, but this is a solid main event. It was fine. Was I excited for it? No. I had to rewatch it because I fell asleep. I give it a C or C minus for the main event. It was fine. It was fine, I guess. That was Raw. Overall, I give Raw like a 6.8. 6.8 out of 10 for Raw. Wasn't the worst thing, but it was fine. Thoughts? Somebody's putting up a damn pictures on the wall or something over here. What is happening? Got more reaction about the WWE ID on Twitter I'm seeing. Gotta go watch Raw Talk for real. 6.5 to 7. Yep, makes sense. Judgment Day is stale. Kind of. There's no juice to it. Finn, JD, Dom, Liv, Raquel. There's no juice to it, unfortunately. They gotta do something. They gotta do something. I don't know what that is, but they gotta do something. There's no juice to it. Let's see what Shawn Spears had to say about WWE ID. An unprecedented and incredible opportunity for those attempting to forge a path in this industry. I'm excited for the future of pro wrestling. So he's all about it. Well, Doug, he's a WWE employee. Of course he's excited about it. I think he's just a genuine. Shawn Spears seems like an honest, straightforward guy. He's all for WWE ID. Here's the new logo. Here's the page. You can follow it if you want. I'm following it. Shawn Spears, Rikishi, proud to announce the West Coast Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy is officially part of WWE developmental program. So I have a presence on the West Coast. I have a presence in California, right? That's where they are. Yeah, LA. So they have a presence over there, which is good for WWE. Good for their branch. Good for their reach. Elite Pro Wrestling Training Center. They're out of where? Concord, New Hampshire. Proud and honored to announce that we are a WWE affiliate. Yada. Cody Rhodes, excited to see the program blossom and change the landscape of pro wrestling. Coach QT and I say at the Nightmare Factory, do the work. He's excited. QT said him. But yeah, everybody's excited who are a part of the plan, who are in the plans. They're excited. We'll see how it works out. Raquel, Rhea next week. So in Saudi Arabia, yes, probably the move. Probably a move, right? Raquel does have a match in Crown Jewel. Rhea does have a match in Crown Jewel. That's the time. Raquel, Rhea in Saudi. I'm predicting it. You're right. That's when it happens. Raquel, Rhea Ripley in Saudi on Monday. Next Monday, that match. That's when they do it. Okay, War Games. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about War Games. So, on Raw Talk, apparently, Bianca and Jade were backstage talking that talk. Let's see. I'm gonna play it. I'm sure I'll play this audio. I won't show it, but I'll play the audio.
Because we don't ever back down from a challenge, because can't nobody stop us.
Period.
So at Crown Jewel,
Is there a problem?
You can go now. So you guys will take on any challenge, huh? Okay. Well, after I beat Nia Jax this Saturday to become the very first ever Women's Crown Jewel champion, I may just want to take your titles too. So unless by some miracle you guys leave Crown Jewel still tag team champions, well then.
We'll be waiting for you.
well, like I said, we don't back down from a challenge. Plus, Liv, who's to say that you're going to walk out of Crown Jewel after Nia Jax annihilates you?
Facts.
But if by some miracle you do...
We'll be waiting for you.
Okay, so I was wrong.
Because we don't
I was wrong.
ever back
I was wrong. Okay, so I thought after Crown Jewel, Bianca and Jade will be not chasing. They'll be chased by Nia and Tiffany. That is not the case. Okay. It appears that Bianca and Jade will be facing off against the other dynamic or the other tag team showing on the Raw side, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel. So on both shows, you have these two tag teams or these two partnerships where one's a champion and one's working for the champion, basically. Raquel is a muscle for Liv Morgan, not doing a great job, but she's a muscle for Liv Morgan. On SmackDown, you have Tiffany, who is the sidekick or the helper for Nia Jax, who is the muscle herself, right? So they had two different dynamics on both sides. Champion with their sidekick, basically, right? I thought Bianca and Jade would be chasing or feuding with Nia and Tiffany. I was wrong. This is clear as day. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is Bianca and Jade against Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, or Liv Morgan and Raquel. That's the direction here. Liv and Raquel, Bianca and Jade. That's the direction here. Which tells me that Bianca and Jade will probably be in the War Games match. I was wrong. See how easy that is? I can admit it. I thought Io and Kyrie would be teaming up with Dakota Kai and maybe add a Lyra, Valkyria, whatever, 5-on-5, PFC, Raquel, and Liv. Bianca and Jade would be on a SmackDown against Tiffany and Nia Jax. That's not the case. They are pitting Bianca and Jade against Liv and Raquel. That tells me this is a War Games build. So, Bianca, Jade, Rhea, and what? Io and Kyrie? Saying? That's a crazy team, right? Remember what happened last week? Liv Morgan and Raquel, same way this happened. The same. Let me show you this. The same way. Yeah, I'm not going to show the video, right? But the same style, same exact style. Io Sky and Kyrie Sane were talking to the interviewer, and Liv Morgan and Raquel walked up and said, "You can go now and get out the way." And she started talking shit. Same thing happened this week. Bianca and Jay were talking to an interviewer. Liv Morgan walks up and said, "Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here," right? And she starts talking shit. The same segment back to back, same structure. That tells me that we may be getting Bianca, Jade, Io, Kyrie Sane, and Rhea in War Games. So it is still a Raw War Games match because the leaders are Team Liv, Team Rhea Ripley. Those are Raw superstars. So it's a Raw-based match. But they're pulling over Bianca and Jade. They don't want Bianca and Jade to do nothing. Thought they'd have a tag team match against Tiffany and Nia Jax. That's not happening. So I guess the direction for Bianca and Jade is War Games. So no tag team match, but now Bianca and Jade are in War Games. I'm okay with it. I feel for Dakota Kai. Maybe Dakota Kai is not ready to go, or maybe they want her to come back after War Games as a, just as a change of pace. Maybe a heel run for Dakota Kai. Maybe she turns on Io Sky later on. I don't know. But no Dakota Kai in War Games. Maybe they don't want her in that match because of her knee. She's just coming back. But yeah, it looks like, guys and gals, Bianca and Jade will be in War Games. I was wrong. I was wrong. Apparently. Or maybe I'm joking. I think I'm wrong. This is clear. Raw Talk made it clear. It's clear. Bianca and Jade will be feuding with Liv Morgan and Raquel. War Games is right around the corner. What are you going to do? Now, here's a question. Will Bianca and Jade face off against Liv Morgan and Raquel in lead up? Because right now, they said to be waiting for the tag title opportunity, but Raquel is also feuding with Rhea. Rhea hates Raquel. Rhea hates Liv Morgan, right? So, will it be a tag team match before War Games. Will they defend against Liv Morgan and Raquel? Now, this is great for the tag team scene, right? This is only happening because Bianca and Jade have the titles, right? If Bianca did not have the title here, this match would not be happening. This visual is only happening because Bianca and Jade are the champions, right? If this was freaking PFC, or this was the Unholy Union, unfortunately, not right, but unfortunately, this face-off would not be happening here. It's happening because Bianca and Jade are the stars they're trying to push, right? So we get this big opportunity to have a loaded War Games match. A loaded Rhea, Io, Kyrie, Bianca, Jade. That is insane star power. That's insane. Against who? That's an interesting question. Against who? Because it'd be kind of weird. I saw somebody say Nia and Tiffany. That'd be kind of weird. Nia and Tiffany have been going at it with Liv and Raquel. Now they're going to come together and team up. That'd be kind of weird. Is it possible? Can it happen? Sure. But to have Nia Jax and Tiffany have a truce with Liv Morgan and Raquel be kind of weird, right? Right now, Liv Morgan is facing off with Nia Jax for the crown jewel. Here's a question. I ask you guys, who will be on the heels team? Who will be on Team Liv? Raquel and who? PFC is a decent, you would think so, yeah, sure. But I was wrong about Dakota Kai, so who will be on the heels team? I can still see PFC doing it. I can still see that. The Unholy Union? Sure. PFC? Sure. That's still my guess right now, Pedro. That's my original guess, would be Raquel, Liv, and PFC. Remember, Shayna Baszler made Jade Cargill tap out. Is there a problem with the star power difference? Kind of. Like, there's way more star power on the babyface team than the heel team. Would that change with Nia Jax and Tiffany? Yes, but does that make sense? Does it make sense to do Raquel, Liv, Tiffany, Nia Jax, and who'll be the last person? I don't even know. I have no idea. It'll probably be PFC. Because it makes sense for Bianca and Jade because they're champions. They can float to both brands, right? They can float. They can be on Raw. It's not really weird for them to pop up on War Games because they're champions across the entire show, all the shows, right? So they can be on Raw for sure. But then you need to have Raquel and Liv Morgan team up with something that makes sense. PFC makes sense, but not Liv, not Nia Jax and Tiffany. I don't think so. We'll see. I could be wrong. Piper and Chelsea Green from a SmackDown. That's a stretch. That'd be kind of weird, right? Chelsea, Piper, or Lash and Jakara. You guys really don't want to see PFC, do you? Unholy Union, they're on Raw. That's still 4. If it's going to be 5, Bianca, Jade, Rhea, Rhea, Io, and Kyrie Sane, that's 5, right? Do you need to have 5 on the other side? No one wants PFC, I understand that. But it makes more sense. It's cleaner, right? Liv, Raquel, PFC. Boom, 5. Makes sense for Liv Morgan's recruitment. That's a good story beat, Brianna. That makes sense, right? Can you imagine if Rhea Ripley screws them again? Not that Bianca needs it, right? Not that they need Rhea Ripley's help. They don't need it. But can you imagine if Liv Morgan and Raquel blame Rhea Ripley again for costing them a shot at the tag titles? That will work for the build, right? That will work well for the build. Let's say Bianca and Jade are defending against Liv Morgan and Raquel. Want to protect Liv Morgan, right? So Rhea Ripley hates them. But maybe Raquel does something devilish to Rhea Ripley on the Raw after Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Maybe Raquel gets the better of Rhea Ripley, puts her through a table, puts her through the barricade, whatever. And then Rhea Ripley returns to screw them in that match. That leaves Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Jade in the ring together, standing tall. Get that visual. You have Liv Morgan needing help. She recruits PFC. Boom. War Games. Io, Scott, Kairi Sane will get involved again because they hate PFC. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Bianca attacking Rhea Ripley in War Games. Yeah, it's not happening. It'd be funny, but it's not happening. Team, yeah, they'll win War Games for sure. Rhea, Bianca, Jade, Io, Kairi, they win War Games. They'll win War Games. So you need Rhea to lose to Raquel on Raw to have that make sense. So they feel strong. You have Liv Morgan and Raquel feeling strong about themselves, feeling good because they took out Rhea Ripley on Raw. Then they lose at War Games. But yes, I was wrong, folks. I was wrong. Won't be Dakota. Won't be Lyra. Well, when you think about it, it wasn't that wrong. I had Liv, Raquel, and PFC. I was wrong about Bianca and Jade's involvement. I thought it wouldn't be involved, but maybe Dakota comes later on. Maybe she comes after War Games. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she comes after. Raquel would pin Rhea Ripley in War Games, methinks. I think Raquel might pin her before that. I don't think War Games ends with Bianca, Jade, Rhea, Io, and Kairi losing. That's too loaded. Do you really want to see... Does it really make sense in your head that a team of Bianca, Jade, Io, Kairi, and Rhea loses to PFC in any shape or form? I don't think so. I think they win that. The faces win it. Remember, War Games has no stakes. It has no stakes. There's no stakes. There's no... You get nothing out of winning it. There's no trophy. There's no title. It has no stakes. So it's good to have the babyfaces win the matches that have no stakes. That way they can lose the important matches. So typically, matches that have no stakes goes to the faces a lot of the time, especially when you have a heel champion, right? When you have a heel champion, matches that have no stakes go to the faces. For example, well, that's a bad example, but I think Raquel will beat up Rhea Ripley in a one-on-one match. She'll probably win that. Rhea Ripley returns, crashes the party, sets up War Games. The faces win War Games. And then you could do Bianca and Jade against Tiffany and Nia Jax at main event. Maybe that makes more sense. Maybe it makes more sense for Bianca and Jade to face Tiffany and Nia Jax at Saturday main event. That's when you have a cash-in attempt then. That might make more sense than to have the cash-in attempt in the double ring. Here's a question. What does Nia Jax and Tiffany do? Well, here's the thing. Naomi is the number one contender. It could push that to War Games or to Survivor Series. It could do that. You could do Naomi Bayley against Tiffany and Nia Jax. You can do Naomi, one of the two. Either have Naomi losing before Survivor Series. She blames Bayley, but she doesn't take it out on her yet. She saves her anger. And then in Survivor Series, in a tag match, where it's Bayley, Naomi against Tiffany and Nia Jax, then Naomi turns at Survivor Series. So if you want the turn to happen on the big stage, then you have Naomi lose before Survivor Series, and then she turns at Survivor Series for the big pop or the big shock. You know, you can do that. So Bianca and Jade are going to be in War Games. The question is, what's going to be happening with Nia Jax and Tiffany? What's going to be happening with Naomi and Bayley? So that feud can continue while Bianca and Jade are in War Games, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Survivor Series need a second women's match. It'll involve Naomi, Bayley, Tiffany, Nia Jax in some capacity. right? Because right now, Nia Jax will face Liv Morgan. Once Crown Jewel is over, you're building towards that Naomi Nia Jax resolution, however that manifests. Some type of match needs to happen, which will bring in Bayley, bring in Tiffany, and that can lead to a story for Survivor Series, right? Naomi versus Nia Jax for Survivor Series, that could happen. That could happen for sure. But yeah, folks, that's what I wanted to say for sure. I was wrong. All right. Any other thoughts about anything regarding anything? I answered some questions before I wrap it up here. Maybe she wants a title shot after Naomi loses to Nia. Who, Bayley? When will Jordynne Grace be debut on the main roster? Which brand will she go to? I think Jordynne Grace has already had her NXT run. I think her NXT run was working with the NXT talent in TNA. So I think she's going to the main roster. She'll probably debut in the Rumble. And then she'll go to... She'll be a face. By then it'll be 3 hours. It'll be NXT. It'll be on Netflix. I did it again. I keep calling Netflix NXT. Raw will be on Netflix, right? So it'll be a longer show. And SmackDown will be 3 hours. We have more time now with 3 hour SmackDown and a longer Netflix Raw. So it doesn't really matter either way. I would probably put her on Raw. Because you're probably doing a Naomi. Either is fine. There's bodies for her. She can wrestle Piper Niven. She can wrestle Chelsea Green. She can wrestle folks on SmackDown. If she's a face, I guess. If she's a face on Raw, it makes more sense. You have PFC. You got Unholy Union. You got stuff over there to do. Charlotte Flair going to return to SmackDown. Maybe you don't want her on SmackDown because you're going to have a face in Charlotte Flair over there already. So maybe you want her on Raw. I don't know. It'll be Raw or SmackDown. I do not think she's going to go to NXT. NXT is stacked with Zarya and Julia and all the talent down there. And Stephanie. It's too much down there. She's done her NXT run by working with... She worked with Sol Ruka. She worked with Roxanne Perez. She worked with Tatum. She worked with a bunch of talent already from NXT. That was her NXT run. Now she goes straight to the main roster to be on probably Raw. NXT on Netflix, probably. How will Stephanie and Jade and Zarya be in NXT? How long? Not how will. How long will it be? Zarya will be there for a little bit. A little bit. So it'll be there by a little bit, I mean long, right? I think Stephanie gets called up first. So Stephanie will be the first call up, I think. They're going to Mexico soon. She's ready. She's been ready for main roster. She doesn't need NXT whatsoever at all. She's already she done AW. She done CMLL. She's more in tune with North American type wrestling. She's ready to go. She gets called up first, I think, in the draft. Julia will stay there and be a longer reigning champion when she gets the belt. So my thought process, Stephanie gets called up first, then Julia, then Zarya. That's how I see it. Do you think the heels have a chance to win at War Games? Rhea needs to be in a losing phase to make her feel like she's kind of like an underdog. I think the heels has a chance, but I don't think they're going to beat a Bianca Jade team. We have two of the most protected women in the entire roster. Bianca and Jade. Jade too. 3 of them. Bianca protected like hell. Jade protected like hell. Rhea Ripley protected like hell. That's 3 of them. Even Io Sky, you can argue is protected. That's too much protecting there. I don't see them losing. I can see Rhea Ripley losing the main event match, whatever that is. The Saturday night main event. Whatever Rhea Ripley does on that show, she could lose that. But I don't think she's losing the War Games. And she loses to Rhea Ripley. Then she loses to Raquel. She wins War Games and loses it again, probably. That's what I would say. Jade's still protected. She's protected. Her, Bianca, Rhea Ripley are protected overall. Put them all on the same team and they lose again? Nah. It's one thing to be separate and lose. All on the same team and take an L? Triple H booking Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Jade on the same team and losing? Come on, guys. I don't see it. I don't see it. Not that team. Not that team. Remember what happened last year? Bianca, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Shotzi won their match against the heels. Now, here's a question. If the guys lose, by that I mean if the faces win on the men's side, which is probably likely, maybe, I don't know. That's more 50-50. Who wins that? I don't think it will matter for the women. I don't think Bianca, Jade, and Rhea Ripley are losing. That team is too loaded in terms of protection. I don't think it's going to happen, folks. I don't think that's going to happen. Raw having another face with that division lacking heels is not a good choice. Raw needs faces, right? Don't they? They have Lyra, who's not on TV. And you have Ivy Nile, who's a heel. You have Unholy Union, who's a heel. PFC are all heels. That 3 right there. Should be fine as a face on Raw. Jordan Grace would be. Should be fine. Imagine if Zarya showed up on the main roster. That'd be crazy. Won't happen, but that'd be crazy. Liv pins Rhea Ripley at War Games. I just don't see it. Team's too loaded. It's too loaded. Too loaded, folks. EO or Kyrie saying take the pin. Tell me how, if we're right, if it's Raquel, Liv, Shayna, Zoe Stark, and freaking, am I blanking on the last name? I'm not blanking on the last name. I don't want to look at the chat. I don't want to look at the chat. Why am I blanking on the name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Sonya Deville. Jesus. I got it. I got it, David. I got it. Sonya Deville. Why would you have that group face off against that heavy-ass, powerful group of EO, Kyrie, Bianca, Jade, and Rhea, and then beat them? It doesn't work. They're losing War Games. If that's a team, those are the two teams that are losing War Games. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right? No ifs, ands, or buts. All right, folks. That is it for the stream, I think. Unless there's like another... Let me see what's going on Reddit real quick. We're going for an hour and a half. Check Reddit real quick. Make sure there's no new reports, no new news. PW Insider says that spoke to some folks that are worried about I'm gonna say Bianca Belair, worried about American. Okay, they're worried about WWE. Okay, I see what they're saying. Sometimes some of them worried about WWE and this whole program they're doing. I'm sure they'll be fine. Let's see what else is on Reddit. They're worried. Got that casket match between Tatum Paxley and Winnie Chu for next week NXT. That's gonna be cool. Let's see what else. Got Stardom stuff that's not really important right now. Lita working in NXT apparently. There's a pitch to Lita to work NXT, according to Sean Rossap. Now Sean Rossap has been wrong recently, but probably right. Fightful has learned about Lita working potentially NXT. That could have been interesting. It could be interesting. It's a pitch. All it is a pitch. Pitch means nothing. It's just an idea. Probably went nowhere. What else? Anything else? Some Bobby Lashley stuff. I don't really care about that. Let's go to Twitter real quick. Hyping up Zarya here. Hyping up Zarya. Great look, great picture here. Excited for her. AKA Delta. Excited for her. Religion rankings. Let's see. Rob Van Dam on ECW. Maybe that'd be cool. Have Rob Van Dam pop up in the old ECW ring or arena. That'd be cool. Yeah. Bailey has something to say about the WWE ID launch. A dream. Excited for the growth and opportunities for everybody involved. Bailey's happy. You guys be happy too. All right, folks, that's it. Look at this. So that's why I have to. That's where he has to make it up to Sami Zayn. You got to apologize. Roman got to apologize. Let's apologize to Sami Zayn. That'd be a crazy segment. A crazy segment for Roman Reigns to apologize to Sami Zayn. Will it happen anytime soon? It has to if you want to do War Games with Sami Zayn. Unpopular opinion, but this match is better than what. Match was fine. The ending was not. No, this match was fine. So this SummerSlam. SummerSlam was good. SummerSlam was fine. That was the peak of the story. The peak of Liv Morgan versus Ripley storyline. The peak was SummerSlam. Been downhill since. That's a problem. What else we got? Fletcher talking about New Japan. That's cool. Yeah, that's all it is. Here's the injury to Sari. She bladed herself. That's some good English. She cut herself to make herself bleed against Bozilla. That was a good match. Game changing. So Roxanne Perez has something to say about this whole thing. Let's take a look at this. So Roxanne is familiar with reality of wrestling. So of course she decided about that for Booker T and the crew in the reality of wrestling. Check this out. See this. I don't know who else freaking quoted this. John Cena, Booker T, Big Swole, support indie wrestling. Honored to be recognized by WWE as a top designation. Cool for them. The Bailey, Kylie Ray. Yo, big love. Kylie Ray's happy. Kylie Ray's happy. And she did not get signed. She tried out for WWE and didn't get signed. And she's happy. She's not bitter. Kylie Ray's excited about it. The Ricky-san page has what to say. Indies needed it. See? Folks are excited. Great for wrestling. Cody's happy. Rather Wrestling is happy. Here's negativity here. It's the NXT takeover. Let's see. Reality Wrestling is officially part of the WWE developmental system. So it's like it's NXT in different locations, basically, in a way, which is kind of cool. She talking about that. We talked about that already. Indy Hartwell, indie wrestling. Excited about that. Don Spears talked about him already. What is that sound? What are they doing over there? That's annoying. Brad Gilmore. Megan Bain, what about her? Oh, by the way, I went to Triple H's Twitter. And look, guess what I showed him? Like, yo, Triple H. Gotta sign Megan Bain. Will it matter? No, but I did my part, okay? I've been doing my part. For the Megan Bain sweepstakes. All right, look, check this out. Sign Megan Bain, for the love of God. Right under Triple H's tweet. Not gonna do me any good, but I done my part. All right, folks, that is it for the stream. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in the comments below, And follow me over on Twitter. And yeah, talk to you guys later. Peace.